Students, today I am going to explain page number 20 and 21. As I have told you, this disciple was a foodie and he loved to eat food, so he stayed there. And the Guru said, "They are all fools, this won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next." Guru tried to understand his disciple, that he said that everyone out there was a fool and was very dangerous. The kingdom would not last for a long time and they could harm them too. But the disciple would not listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. This disciple is not foresighted like his Guru and could not understand what his Guru was trying to say. He wanted to live there only and enjoy the cheap food. The Guru finally gave up and said, "Do what you want. I'm going," and left. Finally, the Guru left alone, leaving the discipline behind, fed like a street side sacred bull. The disciple stayed back in the kingdom of fools. Every day he ate a lot of food, due to which he became as huge as fed, just like bull. One bright day a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in, and as he was carrying out his food, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him on the spot. Now I am explaining it. One day a thief entered a merchant's house. He made a hole in the wall to gain access. When he was about to move out of the house, after looting all the things, the wall broke and fell down on his head, and he died there only. His brother ran to the king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice." Pursuing means follow. Ancient trade means refers to theft. In this lesson here refers to theft. The thief's younger brother went to the king and complained that his brother was following his ancient trade. Although the ancient trade means, here I have already told you, it is a crime, robbing crime. When he was walking, the wall fell on his head and he died. The thief's brother was taking advantage of the king's foolishness. He said that the merchant whose wall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit. He should have made a strong wall. He requested the king to punish the merchant and get compensation for his family. The king said, "Justice will be done, don't worry," and at once summoned the owner of the house. Summoned means to call upon someone. The king was so foolish that he did not consider the fact that the dead man was committing theft. At the time of his death, he only thought that the man died because the wall fell on him, and the owner of the house whose wall fell on him had to be punished. So the merchant was called. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What's your name?" "Such as and such, Your Highness." "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him." The accused pleads guilty. "Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man We have to punish you. Now, here it is given that as soon as the merchant appeared, the king first asked his name. Then the king said whether he was at home when the dead man, the thief was, when the thief was thieving and taking something from his house. The merchant replied, said that he was at home only. The thief made a hole in the wall and tried to enter his house. And when he was trying to go, then what happened? The wall fell down on him because the wall was weak. Then the king told the merchant that he was guilty. He has done mistake. He did wrong due to his weak wall. The thief died and now he would be punished. The king said that the thief died due to his weak wall, so he would be punished for this. After that, Lord said, the helpless merchant, I did not put up the wall. It's really the fault of the man who built the wall. He did not build it right. You should punish him. Who is that? My lord, this wall was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby. The merchant, what happened? Pleaded, and he said in front of the king, he tried to request that, sir, I have not done this. It's not my fault. The wall was weak because the person who has made this, he has not constructed in proper way. So you have to give punishment to this man. And he said that the wall was made during his father's time. The person who built it was very old and he knew him very nicely because he lived nearby his house. The king sent out messengers to bring in the bricklayer who had built the wall. They brought him tied hand and foot. Bricklayer, we know that a person who lays the brick and built the walls. So what happened after that? The king sends his soldier to call the bricklayer who built the wall. They tied his hand and feet and brought him in the king's palace. You there did you build this man's wall in his father's time? Yes, my lord, I did. Then king asked him that, king, what the king asked here? It is that, who built this wall? Had you have done this? He said, yes. What kind of a wall is this that you built? It has fallen on a poor man and killed him. You have murdered him. We have to punish you by death. What the king said? The king said that you have made a weak wall. Due to this, what happened? Poor thief died. So you were punished for this. Before the king could order the execution, the poor bricklayer pleaded, please listen to me before you give your orders. It's true, I built this wall and it was no good, but that was because my mind was not on it. I remember very well a dancing girl who was going up and down that street all day with her ankles jingling, and I could not keep my eyes on my mind on the wall I was building. You must get that dancing girl. I know where she lives. And now what everyone started to blame this person. And now what happened here? We have seen that a blame passing person to person. And when the king was about to pass an order to execute the bricklayer requested, pleaded, please sir, listen to me. He said, yes, I have done mistake. But why I have done, I want to tell you. Because there was a girl who always walking, roaming from the street, and her ankles were making beautiful sound, jingling sound. And I can't capture, I started to see her. And so I have done that kind of mistake. So I built a weak wall. So it's not my fault. It is the fault of that girl. So please, girl, please, sir, this dancing girl, and I know where she lived. She should be punished. Sir, you have to give this punishment to that girl. You are right, the case depends. We must look into it. It is not easy to judge such complicated cases. Let's get that dancer wherever she is. Now, the king was satisfied with the explanation of bricklayer, and he said, he ordered, he tells that this case is very complicated and now we have to solve it, and he ordered his messengers to get the dancing girl. The dancing girl, now an old woman, came trembling to the court. Did you walk up and down that street many years ago while this poor man was building a wall? Did you see him? Yes, my lord, I remember it very well. So you did walk up and down with your ankles jingling. You were young and you distracted him. So he built a bad wall. It was fallen on a poor burglar and killed him. You have killed an innocent man. You will have to be punished. Now, explanation. The dancing girl had become an old woman and she was trembling. She was fluttering. When she entered the court, the king asked that many years ago you started to roam, and then what happened? If you are roaming here and there, then you have distracted the bricklayer, and due to this he hadn't done the work in proper way, and so what happened? The brick fell down and the thief was died. So you were punished for this death. She thought for a minute and said, my lord, wait. I know now why I was walking up and down that street. I had given some gold to the goldsmith to make some jewelry for me. He was a lazy scoundrel. He made so many excuses, said he would give it now and he would give it then, and so on all day. He made me walk up and down to his house a dozen